Well, I'm sort of stuck right now. I'm in a predicament. I can't find my other 20x objective lens, and when I was doing the preparation for this video, I know that the 20x is what I need to attach to the camera, and the 10x don't work because you can't really see clearly through them, so I'm gonna have to go looking for that 20x objective lens. Well, if y'all can tell, I'm really an idiot. Here's where the 20x objective lens was. It was attached to the camera the whole time, and yeah, I should have known to look here earlier. I don't know why, but yeah. Well, let's get started with the video. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Mike from Microscopic Biology, and today I have a different video that combines two of my favorite hobbies: calculator programming and my microscope. Well, I've honestly thought, how does a calculator work, specifically the screen? And, researching, obviously, everyone knows it's made of pixels, right? But how exactly do these pixels work? How does the hardware make the pixel show different colors? How do the color system work? What is RGB? Now, all these are questions that were going through my mind, and instead of Googling stuff, well, obviously I did have to do some research, but I decided that sometimes doing it yourself is a different way to learn things. You'll learn a lot of things that you never can find on Google, or at least without doing a deep search that would waste hours of your time. But you also learn just how a calculator screen works, so that most of my graphics programs can now function a little bit better. So if you really want to know how exactly do computers, and actually any device for that matter that has a screen, connect hardware with its graphic screen, well, stay tuned. Now I know this looks like a hodgepodge of pixels, but what a pixel really is, it's a collection of 3 bars, so to speak. I'm going to call them bars for this video. And they're a bar of blue, a bar of green, and a bar of red. And programs and the OS can control different brightnesses of these bars to produce different colors. Now these bars together function as one pixel. So when you set a pixel to an RGB color, what you're essentially doing is setting each one of those bars to a various brightness. Now that's the reason why black is 000, because as you can clearly see, none of the pixels are turned on, they're just turned off. 000 is the brightness for black. Now white, however, which you can see as the borders around the cursor, that's 255, 255, 255. The reason for that is white is the brightest color. And what it does is the hardware would set every one of those bars to the brightest they can go, and thus you get the color white. Now for everything in between, it's various brightnesses, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but this is just an interesting way to show you just how pixels truly work and the connection to what RGB really is. Now what I want to show you is what a cursor looks like when it's being displayed on a screen. And as you can see here, there are different pixels that are just moving up and down, and these pixels are sort of disrupting the view of the cursor. Now this thing is actually a little complaint, so to speak, that I have against TI for making their calculators so stupidly slow. A calculator spends about 80% of its time stalled. As such, the screen sadly has to suffer some of the consequences of that. So what you see right here is when I built this program, this is my program, I have a link to it down in the description box below where you can check it out. And the way that this program is built is, in order to put something like a cursor on a screen, you're going to have to get the background of the screen. So the program will copy a section of the screen, which is a rectangular section where the cursor is, and then it will put that background on the screen, then I'll put the cursor on top of it. And that way, anytime I move the cursor, I'm not left with an image of the cursor still on the screen. What I'm left with is then the background gets put on top of that cursor anytime the cursor moves. And then the cursor will get put onto its new destination. That way, it can give the illusion that the cursor is moving across the screen. Now, obviously with this copy-paste sort of method, and the calculator being abysmally slow, you're going to have some hardware lagging. And the screen here lags too. So what's happening, those little pixels that you can see are actually the rectangular background behind the cursor getting displayed on top of the cursor. Now this just keeps continually happening. You put the rectangular cursor, rectangle cursor, rectangular cursor. Now, normally on a computer, this happens so fast that you don't even notice it. The graphic card deals with it in insanely fast speeds, so you don't notice this kind of thing. However, on a calculator, which is slower, you do see occasionally that background getting displayed on top. And now, once we get into the microscopic level, you can actually see this a lot more clearly here. Now, as we arrive here at the top of the screen, there's a menu bar at the top, and this menu bar, as you can clearly notice, you might notice there's a missing stripe in between. The reason for that is because the menu bar is sort of a sky blue, and that sky blue, it does not require the red color at all. In fact, I believe the R value for this color was something like 16 or 20, and that's very low. So as you can see, you cannot see that red bar being displayed right there, and that makes sense because the color is really blue and there is absolutely no red in that. Also, another thing to notice is that some of these so the green bars, they look yellow on the screen because my camera's resolution is only 640 pixels wide. Anyways, the reason that you might see that some pixels are brighter than others is because this color isn't able to be displayed normally. Now, the way that a calculator works, and this is only for calculators, is that there's a set amount there are 256 colors to choose from. And anytime you try to use a color in between those, what it resorts to doing is setting some bars brighter than others in an alternating pattern. That's why, as you can see towards the top of my screen, there is a bright green, a sort of dim green, a bright green, and it just alternates throughout that whole thing. And the reason for that is because you, as a human, are seeing all the colors as a big hodgepodge, like a big soup of all the different rays that are hitting your eyes. And the way that a calculator plays on that is that it sets different bars to different colors so that it can obtain the color that you want. Now, just to show you how big these pixels actually are, they are not small at all. I'm going to scroll across that menu bar and you're going to see an edit and a file and the Apple menu, because this is sort of a mock-up of an Apple shell. And as you can clearly see, you can even see the T, the I, the D, the E, and that just spells edit. And then you see the E in file, the L, the I, the F, and then lastly you can see the Apple menu right here. And if you download this program, load it onto your calculator, you will actually be able to see just how big these different words are, and you realize that these pixels are actually not that small. So pixels are actually, if you look close enough, a magnifying glass is really all you need to be able to view these. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any suggestions, any comments, or any questions that you have about how a calculator works, or just any general questions that you have for me, please put those down in the comment section below. I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. And if you'd like to learn exactly how to program in TI Basic on this calculator, it's very easy. I honestly learned it in barely 2 hours, and I was able to do so many things in TI Basic. And I'll have the whole playlist linked up here, and you can go and view those out, and it's really efficient. Now, The program that I was showing y'all is programmed in C on this calculator. If you want to, I have a link down in the description below that'll show you exactly how to program in C for a calculator, and go check those out if you want to learn how to program with C on this calculator. So with that being said, if you think this video deserves a like or subscribe, please give me those. I really appreciate it and I need your help. So with that, well, if you think this video deserved it, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button and the bell to receive all the notifications about all the new videos and stuff that I'm doing on this channel. And as always, I'm Mike from Microscopic Biology, and I'll see y'all next time.